Good morning, Andy. You were very upbeat outside with the message of renaissance and job creation. How's that been achieved here in the West Midlands, and what lessons can the rest of the country maybe learn from the great work that's been going on here?
So it's very kind of you to say we were upbeat, but we have got a pretty good story to tell about the economic revival here. And I think how that's been achieved, we've stuck together as a team across the region, and we've actually stuck to one economic plan over the last 5-6 years through the local enterprise partnerships, through the days of the combined authority and then the mayor. And that consistency with sectors that we really can compete with internationally has really paid off. So consistency and teamwork would be my messages.
That was interesting. I heard you say earlier about the growth in specific sectors. You're not going to try to be one size fits all, and you're competing not so much against Manchester, Leeds and other cities, but internationally. Which are those sectors specifically that you can maybe let us know about?
So our approach has been to think about the sectors where we really do have a competitive advantage internationally. Yes, we've got to compete in the UK, but frankly, that's not what this is about. This is about how can the West Midlands deal with Boston and Barcelona and Berlin, as I always say. Probably a number of sectors to call out, but particularly our advanced manufacturing sector, so automotive, aerospace, machine goods. So, and clearly the best company name there would be Jaguar Land Rover, and the sort of phenomenal revival has been very, very important to us. But then if you think about slightly less obvious sectors, we've got an enormous success in professional services at the moment. HSBC moving their retail bank headquarters to Birmingham would be a great example of that. Our legal sector, insurance, financial services, also offering a full suite sort of internationally. And for our legal companies, huge international clients would be perhaps a more surprising answer to the question.
And with international message in there and competing with Boston, there is another B word that's floating around and was briefly mentioned, Brexit. Can you explain the difference between the London situation of Brexit and maybe the West Midlands that you mentioned earlier?
So if you think of Brexit, one of the things that particularly matters to us is the success that we've had across this region as being an exporting capital of the UK. Growth in exports has been faster here than anywhere else over the last few years, but the stat I used in the presentation was the proportion of our GDP that comes from exporting of goods is 24%. It's 8% in London. So this means that the way in which our manufacturers can operate their supply chains, the trade deals afterwards, really, really matters to us. I'm not saying exactly what the answer has to be, but the thing to draw from it is this is critical importance to our business sectors here.
And the critical importance within the supply chain, obviously, is diversity. How can public and private sector get more involved in this champion diversity supply chain when perhaps it's not the first thing that comes into people's minds?
So one of the great features of what's happened in the West Midlands is diverse businesses have come through almost organically, actually, and some of our most successful businesses are now led by members of the BME community, and that's a great sort of feature of the strength of society here. What we're also trying to do is really sort of encourage the further growth of those businesses through the Asian Business Chamber, some of the Black Business Support Groups, and you've heard about the leadership development for leaders in those organisations, which is absolutely critical. And then from a public point of view, in our procurement policies, we've also tried to think about how we encourage those organisations that have diverse leadership. So the procurement is a way in which we can offer most direct influence.
Okay, so I have to say thank you very much, Andy. Good luck with the continuing renaissance and good luck with Channel 4 as well.
Thank you very much.